of Agriculture, is he taking any action in response to reports that the Pork Industry Board sought to avoid the public embarrassment of reporting conditions in New Zealand piggeries by deliberately evading the Official Information Act? If not, why not?
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, no, and for a very simple reason. I have no responsibility for the Pork Industry Board compliant with the Official Information Act.
Sue Kedgley.
Does he agree that it's a serious offence for a statutory board to seek to evade the provisions of the Official Information Act, and will he exercise his powers under the Pork Industry Board Act 1997 to remove directors who have conspired to circumvent the Official Information Act, and if not, why not?
Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, because I have just explained to the member that under the Pork Industry Board Act of 1997, I have no statutory role in that particular board's adherence to the Official Information Act. If the member has a concern about that, she should know to raise it with the Ombudsman.
Sue Kedgley.
Isn't it the case that it could take many months, possibly a year, for a complaint to be investigated by the Ombudsman? And is he really claiming that he has no power or no influence over the Pork Industry Board as Minister of Agriculture to force it to release these audits that it is seeking to suppress?
Honourable David
Yes,
Carter.
that's exactly what I'm telling the member.
Sue Kedgley.
Does he support the Pork Industry Board's latest ploy, which is to introduce a new label to assure consumers that pork is, quote, welfare approved, unquote, while at the very same time it is seeking to suppress critical parts of the Pork Board's audit on which the welfare approved label is based?
The Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, it is not for me to judge the effectiveness of the Pork Industry Board's public relations exercise. That is for the consumers of New Zealand pork.
Sue Kedgley.
Has he had the opportunity to view the footage of sows on an intensive pig farm, which screened on television last night, which showed sows with bleeding sores, abscesses and flesh wounds? If so, does he agree with the piggery owner, Colin Kay, that there are no welfare concerns at this piggery?
Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, I did not have the opportunity of viewing any footage last night. I did see some footage, I think it was last Friday night, and some of the photographs there of pigs were not satisfactory to me.
Sue Kedgley.
When can we expect the new pig code to be released, given that he publicly promised last year that it would be released? He promised it would be released last year, and that submissions closed in April of this year.
Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, it is certainly of some frustration to me that it hasn't been released, but as the member knows, there was a legal challenge threatened by the Pork Industry Board. At this stage, I understand this NAWAC is close to finalising its submission process and delivering a draft code, which will then require by NAWAC an international peer review. So I'd hope to receive it sometime around October, November, and it's certainly my intention to action it as quickly as possible.
Sue Kedgley.
Does he agree that the public are getting fed up with the efforts of the Pork Industry Board to delay the release of the new pig code by legal obfuscations, to continue using sow crates to hide information from the public and keep conditions on pig farms secret? And don't you think they will be incredulous that he, as Minister of Agriculture, is effectively sitting on his hands and doing nothing in the face of this prolonged procrastination?
Honourable David Carter.
Mr Speaker, we certainly want the process done properly so that it is thorough and long-lasting. It is worthwhile noting that there have been over 20,000 submissions to the draft code, and that will be one reason why it has taken some time, and maybe the member knows that she was part of the process to wind up many of those 20,000 submissions.
Question number 8, the Honourable point of order, the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Speaker, I seek leave to table a letter from me to the Health Minister dated 9 July, some 3 weeks ago, regarding the cut in after-hours GP services Rangiora to date, which he has not replied to me personally.
Is the member prepared to indicate who the letter's from?
Me.
Oh, my apologies. Leavers sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 8, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker.